Did you enjoy your break with no homework? I hope that you at least started to realize that frustrations come up and you can find that frustration and isolate it. So let's move on to the next part of the formula. So once you find the frustration and you isolate it, that's the F of FLIP. What do? This is kind of my favorite one. Well, I like them all, but I really like this one. You locate or look for what's awesome. Okay, here, let me tell you what this means. Let's go back to McDonald's, okay? Let's go back. This is where the power really begins to kick up a notch in FLIP and in flipping the gratitude switch. You locate what's awesome, or a lot of times I say you look for what's awesome. So here's the deal. The guy hands me the Coke, and our hands, the combined strength of our grips make the Diet Coke go whoosh, right all over my pants, all over the car, yada, yada, yada. And I go, ugh, seriously? I'm on my way to the airport. Now I have Coke crotch and I got a wet crotch, which again, we don't recommend. And I'm going, oh my gosh. So I find the frustration. I go, hey, frustration, high five. What up, man? Good to see you. Let's do some work. Now I immediately move into L instantly, because once I found and isolated the frustration, I can immediately begin to locate the awesome or look for what's awesome. So here's what I start to do. I start to go, okay. Or, all right, I found the frustration. I know I need to flip the gratitude switch so that this feeling doesn't stick with me. Because by the way, real quick, if you let that frustration just like fester, the next interaction you have with somebody may be bad. Like, you ever done that where, something happens and it frustrates you or angers you, and then like the next person that you see, you like get mad at them? Zig Ziglar has this unbelievable story about this boss who has a really bad day, and he talks to somebody who now has a bad day because the boss was having a bad day, and then that person, yells at his underling, and now that person has a bad day, and it goes all the way down the chain from the boss all the way down to this woman who yells at her kid, and that kid goes home and kicks his cat. And Zig Ziglar says, wouldn't it have just been better for the big boss guy just to go and kick the cat? And then it wouldn't have had to affect everybody in between. But that really happens, right? If you get frustrated and like your kids run up and you should go, hey kids, I love you, hug. But instead you're like, go away, I have Coke on my crotch. Like, you could do that, right? It could be really, you could take your frustration and push it onto somebody else. So you got to find that frustration and isolate it. And then as soon as you do, you get to move to this. Locate or look for what's awesome. And so here's how this works. So the Coke explodes, boom, on my crotch, on my seat. What do? I go, whoa, okay, frustration, high five, awesome. Now I'm gonna look for what's awesome. What's awesome? What's awesome? What's awesome? Oh, wait. I look back at the cup and I go, I just pulled up to a restaurant, drive-through. I don't know if you can call McDonald's a restaurant. I just pulled up, sorry, McDonald's, love you, to this restaurant, and I talked into a board/box, and I said what I want. And within a minute later, it was given to me. I didn't have to make it. I didn't have to do anything to acquire it. I simply had to exchange a little bit of money for it. And I went, what? That is awesome. Do you know how many people in the world don't have access to food? They're starving. And here I am mad because I have Coke on my crotch. But the reality is, I just stayed in my cute little car and I drove through this little lane and I said, I want this. And then they just give it to me and all I got to do was give them money. Holy cow. And then I went, whoa. You know what else is awesome? I have money. I could pay for it. That's amazing. There's a lot of people that don't have money and I do. Wow, even if it's not a lot, if you're in that place, you don't feel like you have a lot. Remember we talked about in one of the other sections in the Tale of Two Men, man, at least you have more than what would be less. If you have a buck, you have more than a penny. And I went, wow, I've got money. And then I looked down at my seat and I go, oh, I got Coke on my seat, light interior. And I went, whoa, wait. This car is awesome. I love my car. It's amazing. So hold on, let me get this straight. So I can drive up to this place, order whatever I want, and they give it to me through a window. I exchange a little bit of money, and then I get to do that while in my car, sitting comfortably, listening to a book on success or a podcast that I love or music that I love, all while using that car, not a coach, not a carriage. I'm not Amish, and I get to take that thing all the way to the airport where I'm gonna go and get on a plane. Holy cow, I get to get on a plane. I'm not even paying for that flight. The company's paying for that flight. flight because I'm going to go and share our message with somebody else. So now I get to travel to New York City, not even on my own buck, but I just get to go. And oh my gosh, I'm going to New York City. New York City is amazing. Holy cow, the buildings and the Statue of Liberty and all of it. And oh man, that is so cool. And oh, I get to go there and share a message that I love. Wow, I'm so thankful that I get to do what I love. And it just was this chain reaction of all this awesome stuff. And it all started with me going, whoa, I can go through a drive-through and get whatever I want. And then that led to one thing and another thing. And before I knew it, I'm like bursting with awesome. Going, everything is awesome. Everything is awesome, right? I was doing that. Everything is awesome. I wish I was a Lego man because everything was awesome. And I'm just going, holy cow, life is incredible. All because I found the frustration and acknowledged it. Hey, frustration, high five. Watch. And then I started to locate and look for what's awesome, what's awesome, that's awesome, that's awesome, that's awesome, everything is awesome. And then I feel different. Life begins to shift, but we're only halfway through FLIP. So here's the homework. I want you to take those frustrations that you wrote down a couple of modules ago, a couple of parts ago. And I want you to take those frustrations, much like what we had you do with the failure journal, and I want you to isolate them individually, and I want you to figure out something awesome inside of that frustration. Let me give you a couple more examples. If somebody cuts you off on the freeway, you get to go, oh my gosh, they cut me off. Hey, frustration, wait a second, they didn't hit my car. That's cool, right? Now you don't feel so bad. And you also could even go, hey, you know what? Maybe they're in a hurry because their wife's having a baby. Okay, that's awesome too. Right? So there's another one. What's another one? Your kids write on the wall, which I have an artist at home. He's 2 years old and loves crayon on our white walls. And I could get super mad when he writes on the wall, but instead he writes on the wall and I might be frustrated just for a little instant. And then I go, you know what's awesome? That little boy's alive. And he's artistic and he wants to see color. That's awesome. It could be that you walk into work and your boss goes, la 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 la, because that's how like mean bosses sound, la 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 la, and you go, oh, I'm so frustrated with him, and then you go, whoa, 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 hey, frustration, high five, watch, I have a job, I can make money, I'm not unemployed. Okay, these are the examples, big, small, doesn't matter. Take those frustrations and figure out something that's awesome inside of those frustrations, okay? So that's a homework. Do it on the 5 frustrations that you wrote down, and then we will see you for the third step of the 4-part flip formula, which is I. You ready? Because it's coming.